I am Grady Collane in the CapeCod.com News Center, and I'm joined today by two special guests from Upper Cape Tech in Bourne. Do you mind just introducing yourselves for our listeners?
Hi, I'm Bobby Genero. I'm an English teacher over at Upper Cape Tech. I'm also the head cross-country coach, and I run the drama club.
My name is Sean Miranda. I am a junior at Upper Cape Tech, and I am currently studying horticulture and landscaping.
All right, awesome. Thank you both for joining me for this conversation in studio. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit more. The focus of this conversation is to be around the production that's upcoming, and we wanted to talk about how it looks for drama at a technical school. Bob, do you mind just talking a little bit more about what people can expect and what is on the docket?
Yeah, so we're at a technical school, like you said, and we get a lot of support from our shops. Carpentry building sets for us, electrical helping us with lights. This particular show that we're doing, we're leaning heavily on our culinary department. We're doing a dinner theater this year, and we're doing a Christmas Carol as dinner theater. And so it's really a fun show. It's a very traditional telling of a Christmas Carol, but we've also got a lot of traditional Christmas carols in it. A lot of beautiful singing, a lot of beautiful costumes, an amazing meal that was created by Chef Joe Elia from our culinary department. And so our culinary instructors and culinary students will be serving our guests, and our wonderful actors and actresses will be putting on an amazing show for everybody.
All right, that is awesome. So by culinary department doing a lot of heavy lifting, can you elaborate more? Like, is there going to be a menu you can pick from?
There is a menu to pick from. It is available on our website. So we have a restaurant inside our school. We call it the Canal Side Dining Room. And we have people in there 11 to 1 every day. People can make reservations to come to our restaurant. So last year we did a dinner theater in there. I can seat about 60 people in there. And we did a mystery dinner theater called Cafe Murder. It was really successful. Actually got on the superintendent blog and made my superintendent really, really happy.
Always a plus.
Yes. And he asked, hey, maybe you guys could do some more of those dinner theaters. And I said, okay, well, we can definitely do that. And I was looking for, mystery dinner theater scripts that I liked. And I wasn't finding anything I liked as much as I liked Cafe Murder. And I don't know where the idea came from, but I got a flash in my head of the Ghost of Christmas Present just leading Scrooge around tables of diners. And I said, I'm going to do a Christmas Carol. So I went to culinary and I spoke to Chef Joe. And I said, Joe, I need the most Christmas menu you can put together. And he really knocked it out of the park. It's a 4-course dinner. We start off with a butternut apple soup with a sage cream. There's a holiday salad that has mixed greens, cranberries, poached pears, Havarti cheese. It's wonderful. There are 3 entree choices. People when they buy tickets can choose either beef Wellington, roasted duck breast, or a spinach regat lasagna. So we have 3 choices there, and then sticky toffee pudding for dessert. We're only charging $50 for that meal in this show. If you know anything about dinner theaters, I've looked at local ones around here. They can go anywhere from $65 to $105. So we think this is a real steal. Excellent food, excellent entertainment, a great night out around the holidays. It's just a very great value.
That sounds awesome. I hope nobody's made the poor decision of listening to this before breakfast.
I hope not.
Gather, because, oh my goodness, it sounds good already. So I want to also talk from the students' point of view. So can you tell us, how are you involved in the show, Sean?
So I am playing the role of Bob Cratchit, who is he's Scrooge's clerk, right? And he basically has no money. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to feed his family as much as possible and trying to make his son, who is sick, better. Mm-hmm. Where Scrooge comes in is when he's with the Ghost of Christmas Past, he's seeing what Bob Cratchit's life is like. And it's very interesting to see, seeing somebody else's life when you're actually not there. So it's a really cool concept when you think about it.
Yeah, sounds fun. It's a classic Christmas tale. What got you involved in the drama productions? Did you have a desire ever since you were young? Just wanted to try it out, or was there some convincing involved, or how did you get involved?
So I was always an outgoing kid when I was younger. If I saw somebody dancing, I'd go right up and I'd start dancing with them. I didn't care at all who was looking. So I decided to do drama club in the 4th grade. And my first show was a fairy tale kind of play. I forgot what the name was, but I was the king. And it was just an amazing, amazing experience. So 6th grade, I got my first lead role when I played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And it was a really cool experience, you know, being the lead, being the main role of a play.
A lot of lines, I assume.
Oh, absolutely a lot of lines. And then my junior year, I was practicing for a play. It was called Romeo and Winifred, which is like a spin-off of Romeo and Juliet. And I was playing Balthasar. But that's when the pandemic hit us and we couldn't do the show. So then, in 2021, I find myself at Upper Cape Tech. And I join this class, English class, who happens, Mr. Genero happens to be my teacher. And I ask him about the drama club, and he says, "Oh, I run the drama club." And I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Oh, no.
So, so every day leading up to our first drama club meeting, I would be like, "When's our play? When's our first show? When is our first meeting? When am I going to get to audition?" And my first high school play was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And I was like, I'm going for Charlie Brown. So I stayed up all night watching all Charlie Brown movies, shows, studying Charlie Brown, because that's what I do for every role that I have. And then I got Charlie Brown. So it was my first real challenge, because I had to play a little kid when I was around maybe 16, 15. So that was my first big challenge as an actor. Then we do this dinner theater show called Cafe Murder, like he explained, and I was the detective, Detective Harris. And he was this very energy uplifting character in the show. He kind of brightened everything up, and I think I did really good on it.
You did a great job.
Not to toot my own horn.
No, you were all wonderful. But
It's
yes,
important.
It was incredible.
Confidence.
Everybody did a great job.
Yeah, that is great. So, I mean, it's good to know that you've got a taste for it now. I assume that you're going to be pursuing it perhaps at a later date if you go on to other arts and community theater, maybe. There's lots of productions across the Cape and Islands region. Cape Cod is quite rife with local playhouses and whatnot. So, but that is very interesting. Thank you for sharing the standpoint.
It actually runs in his family. You've got a cousin on Broadway, right?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Sounds excellent that you're going to have a little bit of healthy competition, maybe, with your, with your cousin.
We're still trying to get the cousin to come to one of our shows.
I
Right?
know, yeah. Because my cousin, he does Broadway. He did Charlie Brown, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and he played Linus. But he does it 3 months doing the show. We do it only for 4 days. So props to him.
That is awesome. So can you just, Bob, if you don't mind, just a little bit more about how some of the other departments are brought in? You mentioned the culinary department.
Sure.
And now we've gotten the actor's view as well.
Yes.
But what are some other ways that some of the departments are involved?
Well, obviously, carpentry is a big help to us, helping us build sets and designs. They've done some really amazing things for us. When we did our first musical, we did Aladdin, and I just envisioned this elephant coming down the middle aisle and taking Aladdin up to the stage. So I went to culinary, and I'm like, can you build me an elephant? So they cut out 2 sides in plywood of an elephant shape, and they built a staircase up that Aladdin could climb, and they put wheels on it, and then the kids had dowels that they could push it in, and there was a couple of girls in carpentry that just really wanted to paint it, and they painted it beautifully. And what I love to see about things like that is there are kids that might not want to be on the stage, but there are kids that are super creative, they're super passionate about their vocational field, and this gives them an opportunity to see their vocational field in a different way. Carpenters, a lot of the stuff we do is, siding houses or, building facilities. They may not know that they could go to Broadway or Hollywood and build sets, and they're good union jobs, you know. So this is just trying to like kind of broaden their experience and make them understand all the different ways that they could take their vocation and use it. So, you know, carpentry's been a big help to us. Engineering has made some really cool special effects for us over the years. We did Beauty and the Beast as well before Sean got there. And they built the rose for me with magnetic pedals and a remote control so that we could drop the pedals in real time while the Beast was watching the countdown before he would stay a Beast forever. When I did Willy Wonka, they built me, I wanted a candy cannon. I wanted a air cannon to shoot candy out into the crowd. So they built that for me. And they've done some really spectacular things for me. We have a cosmetology shop, and they've come down and done special effects makeup for us. They've done hair and makeup for us for shows. They're fantastic. I already spoke on culinary. We have kind of an older lighting system, and my electricians come down and help us, you know, get that all up and running. So we get a lot of support from our various shops. And again, it gives other kids in the school that, you know, may not want to be on stage the opportunity to be a part of these productions in, you know, a way that you might not see, but they're so vitally important to putting up a show.
Mm-hmm. It's all very interesting. I know a lot of people, when they think of like technical schools, they immediately think of vocation, but also STEM, and arts does have a way to kind of leave the conversation. So it is interesting to hear the standpoints that you're able to incorporate that creativity again.
Right. You know, we do have some shops that by nature creative kids kind of tend to lean towards. Our Auto Body Collision, they do a lot of car painting and design painting. So you see a lot of, you know, creative kids come there, but those opportunities are kind of few and far between in the vocational areas. They're really focusing on learning like the basic skills and building towards a career. So we do try to keep the arts alive in our tech schools. Drama Club is just one of them. We've got a wonderful art club who's actually going to help us with this project that we're working on, because they're going to help make centerpieces for the table and help us decorate. We're really going to deck the halls, you know, and decorate. So, you know, we're getting our artists involved. We're getting our actors, our singers, you know, as many creative kids that want to have some part of this. We welcome them. We want them to have fun. You know, for a lot of kids, you know, they come to high school, and I get it. You know, not every English class or math class is you know, the greatest. Sometimes it's a drag. But sometimes, you know, knowing that they have drama club that afternoon, or knowing they have art club, knowing that they have something going on is what keeps them coming to school. And I think that's hugely important for these kids.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. Now, I wanted to touch on what you just highlighted there, decking the whole halls. So this is the production is something that's going to involve like the whole area, the whole space. It's not just on stage. Are you going to go follow through that idea of actors?
Here's the funny thing is. I told you before that the Canal Side Dining Room only holds 60 a night. We would have been sold out by October 20th if that was the case. I had 180 tickets already sold. I went to Chef Joe and I said, Joe, we're going to be sold out. He goes, well, you know, our school has a history of the Falmouth Theater Guild coming there and doing dinner theater in the cafeteria. They break down the cafeteria tables and they put in nice tables with linen. They used to get like 200 a night. Joe said, let's do it in the cafeteria. He's like, I will cook for 200 a night. I'm like, Joe, are you serious? 200 a night? He's like, yep, let's do it. So we moved it to the cafeteria. Our stage just happens to be in the cafeteria too. So it gives us a lot more flexibility with what we could have done in the Canal Side Dining Room. So now we're going to utilize the stage area, and we'll still be working amongst the crowd. So there will be some, you know, audience participation. They'll feel like they're in it. When we have the Ghost of Christmas Past take them through to Fezziwig's party, after we have like a big dance number that kind of happens out in the audience, Fezziwig will call for dessert to be served. So our guests will feel like they're guests at the party, and dessert will come out. So it's going to be kind of a very immersive experience.
Mm-hmm. Sean, it sounds like a very involved production so far. Has there been a lot of dance steps to remember? I assume it sounds like a script that's going to be about an inch thick in terms of all the plans involved. But what is it like in such a strange kind of environment as opposed to a traditional stage?
It feels free, you know. We're not always on the stage all the time. We can be roaming around the cafeteria, really being our character instead of acting it. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're also passionate about it as well. It's great to be able to have the self-expression that comes with dramatic arts. I'm afraid we're about coming up on time now, but is there anything else you wanted to add to the conversation before we wrapped up?
I do. Tickets for this production do need to be pre-purchased just because of the nature of the production. We have to prepare the food. You can get your tickets on our website, uppercapetech.com. If you look under our news section, you will see that there's a link to our ticketing website. You click on that, it'll take you out where you can buy tickets. Our full menu is available on that website if you want to look at it in more detail than I gave. You can read that full menu and make your choices. And again, for $50 for a dinner theater of this nature, it's a great deal. It's around the holidays. We're going to have 200 people packed into, the space, and it'll be very festive. There'll be a lot of fellowship. It's just a great time to go out and be with people on the Cape and just really enjoy the holiday season.
All right, that is awesome. And for our listeners as well, we will have the link in the description of this segment on capecod.com for those that just want to be able to click through and find that as well. Sean, before we wrap up, any last words you wanted to add about how excited you are or anything for your fellow students about getting involved in the arts?
Well, all of our actors, our friends, family, really, they're all doing such an amazing job at doing what they love to do. So props to them, December 15, 16, and 17 are our show dates.
Yeah. And then in March, we're going to have our musical, which is Bring It On. It's a Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. So if the $50 price is a little too steep, come see us in March when it's a little bit more reasonable. It'll be another fantastic show.
All right, awesome. We look forward to staying tuned on that as well. Thank you both for joining me for this conversation. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us in.
Thank you for having us.
I'm Grady Collane in the CapeCod.com News Center, and this has been Sunday Journal.